Most people moving to Austin make the same mistake. They Google best Austin neighborhoods and the same 5 keep popping up and they absolutely miss this one I would live in. And that one is Onion Creek. Today, I'm gonna walk you through everything there is to know about this community. You see, I've played every course in town and know these communities like the back of my hand. So by the end of this video, you will know price points, real estate, the golf course, of course, and everything else in between to know if it's the right community for you. Hi, I'm Nicole Cooper, and I've been helping people buy and sell in the Austin area for over 15 years, especially in golf communities. As I mentioned, I've played them all, and I can help you find the one that matches your lifestyle. So if you're looking for lifestyle and location, you are in the right spot. All you have to do is, our information is below, comment there, let us know, call us, text us, email us, set up a Zoom call. We're always here for you. So talking about Onion Creek, we're gonna tell you the pros and the cons, the things you won't find on Zillow, and that I'm not gonna sugarcoat those cons, so where you might find a surprise after you move in. We're gonna tell you everything up front and real and raw right now. Let's get going. We'll get into real estate in just a sec, and there's a price point that's gonna shock you compared to what you pay further north. But first, let me take you over here into the map and show you exactly where it is. So this right here is I-35. This is downtown Austin. So Onion Creek is just here at the southeast portion of town, or really just the south side of town. This destination here is the airport, so it's really convenient. I'm going to share a little bit of that con sugar coating right now, and that is that you can see this red highway. There's basically one way in and one way out to downtown, and it gets really busy at traffic time. So if we zoom out here, everyone from San Marcos, New Braunfels, and San Antonio, Kyle and Buda, are coming into Austin from that one I-35. So now, within the Onion Creek community, there are a few sections, but first I want to point out this creek right here. That is Onion Creek. I'm going to put on the satellite map so you can see how it flows through the community. This is the creek that runs alongside the golf course and through the housing of Onion Creek community itself. And just a little highlight here for you, a little preview. It does create a floodplain in the Onion Creek neighborhood, but not all homes are in the floodplain. So you just have to do your due diligence on the front end. But how the community was started back in the 70s, it was a ranch land that was bought, and Merritt designed the golf course. But this part down here is kind of the original section, mostly built in the 70s. So you're gonna have a lot of different style of house than you would say back over here in this back part, where we're gonna have more of early 2000s house. So there are a few pockets within Onion Creek that have completely different looks. But the cool thing about all of it is that it has the beautiful trees lining the streets, and it has that old vibe of old school Austin. So here's an example of the tree-lined streets you're going to see. Most of the homes in this older section are going to be that ranch style, that single story left to right build, and then you are going to have some multi-level 2 stories or 2.5 stories in there as well, because there is a little bit of topography on the golf course side of the original back 9. And we'll go through that in more detail later, but just wanted to give you that beautiful view of those pecan trees and live oak trees that go over the road there. Coming up, we're going to talk about whether you actually need a country club membership to enjoy living there. But first, I'm going to show you the actual types of houses that are for sale and price points. Let's have a look. So you can get in the Onion Creek neighborhood in the 400,000s at the moment. Not on the golf course and a little bit smaller, but you can. This is an example of the ranch style house, the 1-story design, built in 1979. This is in the original section on the original front 9 of the golf course. 2,365 square feet, listed at $674,000. You can see here in the kitchen that it has been updated over time, and that is what brings the value up a little bit. Now let's have a look at its view of the golf course. Here you have your deck overlooking the whole. This is a par 5 on the original front side. Actually, no, I take that back. This is the par 4 right before it. Par 5 has a few more trees on it. But you can see here, the tree line there is the creek in the background. So this is the part of the course that gets flooded the most when we have those extreme weather conditions. Our next example here is one of the larger homes in the back side of the neighborhood, built in 1999, 3,317 square feet, listed for $685,000. And you can see this one's location in relation to the golf course, and this is on the newer 9. Before a little sneak peek about the golf, there are 27 holes there, 3 sets of 9. So we have the original front and back, and then they added a new 9, and it kind of intermingles there. So sometimes I get the holes mixed up on the new versus where it's mixed in with the old. But you can see here, we've got a little bit of a dated design in the kitchen, and that's why you get a little bit larger house for about the same size, same price as the last house that was 1,000 square feet smaller. And then I just wanted to point out here, as you can see, these homes that line the fairway, they do not have fences in the backyard. Their fences are not allowed in Onion Creek unless you have a water feature like a swimming pool, because that is mandated by law. You have to have that enclosed to keep children and animals out for insurance purposes or for safety purposes, and insurance demands that as well. So if you don't have a swimming pool in your backyard, you're not allowed to have a fence in your backyard on the golf course. Everywhere else does, but not on the golf course. Our final example is not on the golf course, but it's been completely redone. Originally built in 1983, just under 3,000 square feet, listed for $999,999. Has the swimming pool, the new metal roof, and I will show you this. Got the waterfall kitchen, or waterfall countertop in the kitchen. Everything has been redone down to the studs, and that is why it commands this higher price. Here's another couple of pictures of the kitchen so you can get an idea. New cabinetry, new counters, new backsplash, new floor, new everything. And that's why it's more expensive than the other two. All right, coming up, I'm gonna show you the amenity that's right outside the neighborhood that almost no one talks about, and I'm gonna tell you all about the golf course. So as we zoom in on the details of the golf course, I wanted to give you one more bird's eye view before we get down to the details. We've already mentioned the creek running through it. Here is the pro shop and clubhouse right in the middle. And so this section here on this side of the road is the original 18 holes. This section back here in this back part is the new 9. So they kind of connected over here and mixed up some of the new 9 and the original back 9. Anyway, you have 27 holes to play on. Though you get choices. You don't always have to play the same 18 in the same order. As for the terrain out at Onion Creek, well, you do have a little bit of topography there. The original number 12 here, it's a par 4, absolutely gorgeous hole. You're teeing off from up high. You've got the creek running all down the right side. And this one, it's not too long of a hole because it's a small landing area, and then you've got to hit up to that green. But that's just one of the holes that has more elevation than another. For the most part, it's pretty flat, as you can see here from this aerial view, and this one as well. This part of town is not the Texas Hill Country. West Austin and west of Austin is the Texas Hill Country, and for the most part, the south side of Austin and the southeast part of Austin are flat. There is a nice practice area out there, a very wide driving range. You have chipping greens, pitching greens, and a big putting green to practice with. So you don't have any excuses not to get out there and get your game honed in. This here is like one of their signature par 3s. We're up here at the green. The tee box is back there where the golf carts are. It's a pretty narrow green depth-wise, so you really have to hit it the right distance, or you're either in the water or chipping back down to the water. It's a really good hole. Now let's talk about some of the amenities at the club. This pool is one of the biggest pools around. It's old school, Olympic-sized pool, lots of room for families, kids, swimmers doing laps, all the things. Back over here to our right would be the kids' swimming pool. You have tennis courts, you have clay courts, you have room for pickleball. This is the dining area for like lunch and things. You're just in between 9 holes, or you're dining. This is not the formal dining area. Here's an example of a party at the formal dining area. So they have plenty of rooms to rent out. In fact, my brother had his rehearsal dinner here at the big hall in Onion Creek. Here's another view of the daily grill and then the fancy dining room. They also have a fitness center that they just redid a few years ago, so it's got nice state-of-the-art and modern equipment in there. Full membership fee, including all the golf, the highest membership fee is $15,000 initiation. It's pretty good value. In fact, it is our best value in town. We have River Place and Onion Creek as our $15,000 entries, and everything else is higher than that. The next one at $25,000, and then after that, it's up to the moon around $100,000. So if you're looking for a value play, this could be the best option for you. I've played Barton Creek, Spanish Oaks, ACC, UT Club, all of them. And Onion Creek definitely isn't the flashiest, but people stick around here because of the member culture. There's a cool vibe and the value in both the homes and the initiation fee. Remember I promised you that amenity that almost no one talks about? Well, let's check that out right here. So here is Onion Creek. Just out the back side here, we have McKinney Falls State Park. It is absolutely magnificent. Limestone cliffs, hiking trails throughout, picnic areas inside, camping areas inside. You can take your dogs, you can go for a swim, of course, when we have rain. Everything in Austin and Texas is weather dependent because we go through such long strings of drought and then so much rain. So it's either too much or too little, unless you're trying to swim, and then you can never have too much. But these are the kind of outcroppings you can see all throughout the park. You can walk underneath them and through them, and it's just a really pretty place. This is what I wanted to show you here. I love this little spot. There is a small daily entrance fee or a camping fee or whatever, but it is a really cool park, and it's just out the back door of Onion Creek. After that, we have Onion Creek Metropolitan Park, which is a big soccer extravaganza. They have, I don't even know, 20 fields out there. And then if we hop, here's Onion Creek again. And if we hop just across the interstate, we have Mary Moore Seawright Park, another big park. It's more community based. It does have a few trails through it. It has some disc golf in there, a little bit of water in there, and picnic tables, playgrounds, the works. This is one of the disc golf tee boxes, if you will. I do have a funny story. Well, it wasn't funny at the time. I was taking my dogs over there for a little walk early in the morning. No one was around, so of course I let them off the leash. Well, beware, there are deer everywhere. So Jameson saw a deer, took off, and then I got my other dog, Bimini, on the leash quickly. So we were looking for Jameson. Couldn't find him. I was running. Finally found him. He came back. And then I was lost. That's how big the park is. I had no way to know where I was until I saw the disc golf hole. And then I was able to follow the disc golf backwards to where it started at hole number 1 and get out of the big park. So be very aware if you let your dogs run free. There are plenty of deer out there, and if they chase them, be very careful. All right, what else is in the area? Well, just across the road here, we have South Park Meadows, which has everything from Walmart and Target to movie cinemas to restaurants and all that jazz. We already talked about the airport not being very far away, right over here in this blue area. And then Tesla is also not too far away. Tesla is right over here on the 130 toll. So this might be a good opportunity to have a nice house in a country club area. It's be the closest one to Tesla for sure. And then if you're into Formula One or concerts, here's Circuit of the Americas right here. So it's quite a very convenient location for all things south and east of Austin. Now, I promised you I'd tell you one thing that surprises every buyer, but first we're going to talk about the schools, because if you have kiddos, you got to know this part. So the neighborhood of Onion Creek feeds into the Austin ISD. Here is their ratings per texasschools.gov. They get 79 out of 100. It is an enormous school system at over 72,000 students. And that puts it right around 14 students per teacher. The high school that the neighborhood feeds into is Aikens. They get a 79 out of 100, just over 2,400 students, and about 15 and a half students per teacher. This part of town has never really been known for having good schools. It originally started as like a retirement community. It's not anymore, but the schools haven't quite caught up yet. So if you need a different idea of what to do, we have, no pun intended, we have the Idea School at Bluff Springs. And just to show you where that is, here's the Onion Creek neighborhood, so you can go out just the back side and hit this Idea Bluff Springs school. They are a grade of a B from college prep. They just founded 10 years ago. So the whole entire school, K through 12, is just around 1,250 students. So it's another idea if you want your kids to be in a different school system. At the end of the day, it's always really important to call the school district and make sure your home is feeding into the school you think it is, because the lines, they're crooked. They're not just in a box. In addition, the Austin budget hasn't been great lately, and they've been closing down some elementary schools, combining schools, and making the boundaries change often because of these budgetary constraints. So you want to always make sure, if the school zoning is important to you, you've got to make that call and make sure that the house you're going to buy feeds into that school system. So we've made it to the pros and cons. Remember, I said I wasn't going to sugarcoat it, and I haven't. I tell you the actual facts. We're going to start with the pros though. First pro is it is an established neighborhood with character, mature trees, and charm. Second, a little bit larger lots because of these older homes built in the 70s. We tended to live a little bit farther away from each other than in these new communities where they're about this far apart between houses. Great country club access, valued at $15,000 initiation, best one in town. They do have a security guard. I forgot to mention this earlier, but there is a security guard that monitors the neighborhood 24/7. It's not gated, but it is nice to have this roaming guard. If you leave your garage up or if there's any shady activity going on, they're gonna report it right away. McKinney Falls and other parks are practically in your backyard. You've got pretty easy access to downtown, airport, Tesla, and Coda. And this community still has that neighborhood vibe. You have people that have been living there over 20 years. So you're going to have those little community parades, the 4th of July parades, the Halloween parades, the little parties like that. So people really want to get to know each other here and are friendly. And let's face it, more house for the money than in West Austin. Now, what's not so hot? It can't be all rainbows and puppies. First of all, we've talked about it, it's that floodplain. It runs through the neighborhood, you can't get around it. A third of the houses maybe are inside that floodplain. You don't want to buy a house in the floodplain, trust me. Next, some of the homes need updating in there. They're in their original form from the 70s or 80s. So you can find value if you can put in your own elbow grease and make your changes, but some of them will need that extra love and attention. Now, while location is a pro, I said before, it's also a con because during traffic time on that I-35, it can just get bottlenecked. So while you're not very far, you don't have super great access to it if the traffic is bad. And lastly, there's nothing that's really walkable. There's shopping across the interstate, but you're not gonna walk over that I-35 interstate to get somewhere. So you're gonna have to get in your car and drive somewhere for food, coffee, snacks, and cinema and things like that. So remember at the beginning, I told you there's the one thing that surprises every buyer? Well, here it is. There are deer and turkey that walk through the yard all the time. No matter what part of the neighborhood you're in, you're going to see wild turkeys and deer regularly. So overall, this community is for someone looking for value in the real estate and the golf community membership, the country club membership. Families who want a little bit bigger lot and don't have to commute too terribly often. Maybe it's somebody working at Tesla or the airport or at Coda. And it's somebody who's looking for a neighborhood with a bit of character over that master planned cookie cutter vibe. So overall, this is a social yet quiet community. It's kind of ideal for people who want golf and lifestyle without that downtown hustle and bustle. So if you came here to figure out if Onion Creek was your answer, I hope you have a much clearer picture now. And hey, if you want to see any properties in person, all you have to do is give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, because we are always here to help you find the perfect home that matches your lifestyle. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others. I can't wait to see you around town.